I'm Roxie with Roxie's Broadway Breakdown. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about Broadway is back. I don't know, did it ever really leave? It obviously had some hard times during the pandemic, and people were really worried, like, would it ever get back up to speed? Would it ever really bounce back? I never had to worry. Theater people are resilient. I knew it would come roaring back, and it has in a huge way. The 23-24 season was one of the biggest ever. 17 new musicals opened up this season. That is like record breaking. That is like the most musicals that has ever opened up this century. So I want to talk about it. And it was huge for women, like huge for women. Way to go, women. All right. In this very male dominated industry. But 10 of the 17 musicals were directed by women, and I'm going to name them. All right, so we had the Melissa Etheridge musical. I believe that was like a one-woman show. It was just based on like all her music. But we also had Once Upon a One More Time, Limpika, How to Dance in Ohio, The Wiz, The Outsiders, Water for Elephants, Suffs, and Merrily We Roll Along, and Cabaret. There were a lot of Tony-nominated shows among those. The Outsiders, Suffs for Best Musical, Merrily We Roll Along, and Cabaret for Best Revival. And then in and among those, directors were nominated for The Outsiders, Water for Elephants, Suffs, and Merrily We Roll Along. So hats off, me ladies, for your work this season. There was also a lot of diversity celebrated this season. Broadway is just ever changing and ever exploring and broadening its horizons, which I'm always glad to see. Here Lies Love, which is about Imelda Marcos, the former First Lady of the Philippines. She was not a nice lady. Didn't work out well for her in the end. But it does take place in the Philippines, and they enlisted a lot of Filipino actors in that cast. So good to see. How to Dance in Ohio was based on a documentary that HBO did that was about autistic children getting ready for their prom. And they cast autistic children to be in the show. It was like, okay, you didn't just go hire actors to play, you know, being autistic. They actually used autistic performers. So I was like, oh, that's really refreshing. Like, you know, hire autistic kids that can perform. And then Limpika is about a Polish painter, Tamara de Limpika, that is fleeing the Russian Revolution. And she's torn between her husband and child, and she strikes up a relationship with this Parisian prostitute, this female Parisian prostitute. So she's bisexual. And if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time that a show, I mean, this is really about her lifestyle and sort of being torn between these two different relationships. And I think this is the first time that, like, the heroine of a show is, like, bisexual. So I mean, there's plenty of shows about gay characters and being the lead, but I think this is the first time that, like, a female bisexual is the lead in a show. So that's what I'm saying. Like, Broadway is just ever changing, ever expanding. Like, it's going with the times. It is reaching out to all kind of demographics. And if you can't find something on Broadway to go watch, whether it be a musical, a play, then you just don't like Broadway. It's just not for you. And that's okay. That's okay. And then let's celebrate all the shows that have been on Broadway forever. They're lasting. Lion King, 27 years, going strong. Wicked, 20 years. Book of Mormon, 13. Hamilton, 9 years. Has Hamilton really been on Broadway already for 9 years? Wow, where's the time going? Aladdin, 10 years. And Hadestown and Moulin Rouge, already been on Broadway for 5 years. I don't see them going anywhere. So that's really good to see, because I always say in my videos that musicals are very expensive to produce, which they are. And a lot of them you see like come and go within a few months, and they do. But when you see shows that are really lasting, one, you know they're really good and people love them and they keep going back and back to see them. And but you know, which is a shame that some just close. And even the good ones, there's some really good ones that just come and go really quickly. But it's good to see ones that are more shows that are lasting longer and longer. And then I gotta say, more and more producers are getting their money back this year. They're recouping their costs. Merrily We Roll Along and Cabaret, our SRO, they're selling to 100% capacity. So money, 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 money. And a lot of other shows have 90% capacity. So producers, you slimy producers. No, I'm just kidding. But you are getting your money back. And so the Tony nominations this year were, some people are saying they were a little bit all over the map. There were a few snubs. But I don't want to talk about that yet until I cover the Tonys in June, and then I'll kind of let it all shake out and see where it all lands and who got what. So there you go. There is my video on Broadway being back. I don't know that it ever really went anywhere, but there you go. All right, don't forget to click and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next.